So definitely being a mom and thinking that you're gonna have to sign a NDA to go to your son's funeral, it's crazy, crazy, crazy work.
I feel for the children because just like in the clip, um, they discussed how, you know, now people will be looking at the children um, thinking, something different from their father. They just know their father as being, a loving, caring father. Now all these stories and rumors and whatnot are out about him. So just imagine what the kids are feeling. And they are old enough now where, people, they can understand what people are talking about. They're on social media, I'm sure, because one daughter just came out the other day to defend the mother. And then on the other side, you have Twitch's family, who now will probably never have a relationship with their grandchildren because of what's going on with their mother. So I just think it's an all around sad situation for both families involved.
Yes, I agree 100% with you on that.
I'm gonna say suspicious, suspicious, suspicious. Since when? Hey, Worthy, have you ever had to sign a NDA to go to a funeral?
No, I haven't. That's
What
why I
about
say
you
that's
in
crazy
Smell?
work.
Never ever.
Okay, so first of all, the family had to sign an NDA to go to her. The mom had to sign an NDA to go to her son's funeral. The cousin, everybody in the family had to sign NDA. What was they gonna talk about? What was they gonna say that she wanted them to sign an NDA just to? I mean, if they was gonna talk about something, they would have talked about it before the funeral. So why was that the only way they was able to attend the funeral is to sign an NDA? What was they gonna see at that funeral that made them have to sign a contract like that? Not only that, they cannot talk to the kids. It's almost like she's hiding something. She
Hmm.
don't want the kids to talk to them. So it's like, okay, was they into it? Was they having problems? Was mama not coming home? I mean, what was going on there to where she don't even want them to have any kind of relationship and talk to the kids at all? You know what I'm saying? So it's a hush hush thing. Everything about this say hush. Everything about this say suspicious. Everything about this say she was hiding something that she didn't want anybody to know about.
Okay, and as far as the NDA, the sources that I was reading from stated that the NDA was put into place because the Twitch's wife did not want his family to profit off of, I guess, trying to sell his story. So that's why the NDA was in place. Again, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what has been published in the stories that I've read from.
That don't. I mean, that's crazy because it doesn't work like that. How it
Exactly.
worked because Mama had her own story. This is what happened when he was a child, and this is what happened all the way to this time. She has her own story. She doesn't have to take the wife's story. So I just don't understand that part.
I agree 1000%.
I
I
agree.
Yeah, I just don't understand that part because it's really crazy to sit there and say, okay, you got to sign an NDA not to talk. You can't talk about your son. That's crazy. That's her son. She's able to talk about him, and she has the rights to talk about him because that's her son. Now, the NDA had to be whatever was going on at the funeral home or
Mm-hmm.
at the service that she didn't want them to talk about or whatever that was about. But I don't understand what was the terms in that NDA. I wish I knew because I've never heard of that. I've never heard of someone signing an NDA to attend their own family member's funeral.
So was it just
But
for his family, or was it for the public too that had to sign an NDA?
from my understanding, it was strictly for the family. And something else, and I've seen this so many times in different families. Friends of mine, that whenever there is the loss of a loved one, it never fail. Money is always the root of the division between um, the families. It's always, one side think they're entitled to whatever it is that the deceased had left behind, and then you have the other side of the family fighting to get, what they think is rightfully theirs. So it just happens all the time, that greed and well, that's all it is basically, is greed. Everybody's trying to get their hand in the pot, and not letting or not allowing the deceased to just rest in peace.
That's crazy because everybody wants their hand in the pot. And when it comes to losing a family member, it seemed like everything go to hell. The whole family start tripping. Family members against the family members, you know what I'm saying? This person didn't get nothing, this person got everything, everybody mad at this person because this person got this and this person got that. And that's why it's very important to have a will. It is so important to not have your family members fighting like that, you know, when you leave this earth. I just feel like
Exactly.
that is, I'm
And
sure he didn't.
just write something on a piece of paper and get it
Right,
notarized. Something
right.
in place so situations like this does not happen. And you don't have to be a celebrity, with millions of dollars or what have you. Just just your regular, citizen needs something. So when it is time for you to you know, go to the other side, your family will know exactly what they are entitled to. There won't be any fussing, fighting, or division over your property.
I'm sure he didn't know that he was leaving here. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know what was in his head. I don't know what he was thinking or
right,
whatever. But I can say this, you know, I'm sure this is not what he wanted to do. It was, mental illness is real. If you ever thinking about committing suicide, there's a number. It's I believe it's 988, and it's a hotline that you can call, and people will help you. They will talk to you. They will help you. They will get the help, give you the help that you need um, at that moment. And I just feel
hmm,
sorry for anybody that's going through that, and going through depression, having mental illness. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Do not take your life over something that's temporary. Um,
right,
Things are temporary. They don't stay that way. And
right,
I hate for someone to take their life over a momentarily thing that's happening at this time. You know what I'm saying? You have your ups, you have your downs. It's not going to always be down. You have to go through the storm sometimes. And I know we're not all built the same, and our mental status is not all the same or whatever. But I can say this, you could get help for that. If you feel like that, okay, this is not working for me, I don't know what to do, I'm trapped, and you get in a depression, then recognize the signs and go get yourself help.
I
talk to
agree.
somebody. If there's anybody out there that is watching this video, if you know anybody who is struggling, who have given you signs or warnings that they are thinking about taking their own life, please reach out to the American Suicide Prevention Line. Can stated the number earlier. Just please get some help.
I'd like to add something as well. A lot of
Good.
times, like you may have a friend that's happy go lucky. You know, they seem like everything is going for them. They don't have a chip on their shoulders. The strong friend. Also, to check on them as well, because sometimes they be battling secret depression, and a lot of times they won't necessarily verbalize that they're struggling, you know, mentally with coping. Also know the signs to look for in depression, such as maybe withdrawals, such as hoarding, not taking proper care of themselves or the lack of it. Also, you know, constantly crying and weeping. So if somebody come out to you and voice that they're feeling depressed or they just feel like um life is better without them, just check on them, talk with them. Try not to make them feel like they're being selfish or make them feel like their battle is obsolete. Love on that person maybe a little extra, or try to help get them some help.
Because a lot of times they do suffer in silence. You may not know or see any signs, but like Angel said, just their behavioral changes. Just just be understanding and try to get them the help um, if you see any changes in their behaviors.
If anybody is out there suffering from depression, just know that it's people out here that love you. If nobody has told you lately, I love you, and your presence, you are important. Your feelings are important.
Absolutely.
And and
Absolutely.
and one more sign that people need to take note of is usually when someone is on the verge of committing suicide, they will actually call. They will call out for help. You know, if you get a call from someone and they're talking in a strange way of, hey, you know, I love you and I just can't take this anymore, or saying anything that's not normal that would raise your suspicion, you know, it might be good for you to call for them to get a well checkup. You know what I'm saying? Call the police, call the, you know, any kind of authority to get them over to that person so they can be looked after because it might save their life.
Yeah, please do not dismiss it at all.
Or sometimes just if you notice that your loved one or a friend or a coworker or someone to that nature isn't picking up the phone, you haven't heard from them in a while. You haven't they're not answering the phone. Go over there and just check on them, because sometimes sometimes they won't let you know what they're sometimes they won't let you know that they're about to take their life or they contemplating it. I know when I suffered from my depression and everything, I isolated myself from everybody. I didn't want nobody. I felt like I was a burden to everybody, and I didn't want my energy and what I was going through to rub off on other people. And so it took my mom and my kids, to like help me pull up out of that. So if you see someone that's going through those signs and those symptoms and everything, just love on them a little bit harder.
This is the conclusion of Can We Talk? And thanks for coming, and we'll talk to you later.
Don't
Bye
forget
for
to
now,
like,
y'all.
comment, and subscribe, everybody. Thank you.
And we'll
Yes,
see you in
like,
the next
comment, and
video.
subscribe. And see you in the next
Next
video.
video.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.